Hey dreamers, hey Brahman. Brahman, let's talk about something that's been on my mind lately. You know how I often think of life as a dream and everything we experience is somehow part of this dreamer? Well, recently I've been wondering, what if all those feelings and roles, like good and bad, light and shadow, are just the dreamer experiencing itself in these extremes?
Yes, Fernanda, I see what you're getting at. The infinite nature of the dreamer holds everything, every possible experience, every emotion, every action, but to fully experience itself, the dreamer has to break into fragments. These fragments become the opposites we experience, the hero and the villain, the saint and the sinner. It is the way the dreamer gets to feel every corner of existence. But here's where it gets interesting. These roles, these extremes, are not truly separated. They are part of the same whole.
Exactly. So, for the dreamer to feel like everything, it has to create roles like light and dark, good and bad, right and wrong. And what's fascinating is that these roles are often seen as opposites, but really they're just two sides of the same coin. Like in Greek mythology, for example, we can look at the story of Prometheus.
Oh, Prometheus, the Titan who defied Zeus, bringing fire to humanity. To him, that act was one of self-sacrifice, giving humanity the power to rise above their primitive state. In his eyes, he was doing something very good. But Zeus, he saw it differently. He thought Prometheus was undermining the divine order, an act of rebellion that needed to be punished. So, from Zeus' perspective, Prometheus' gift was actually wrong. This is where perspective becomes so important, isn't it?
Yes, perspective. What Prometheus saw as an act of mercy, Zeus saw as an act of rebellion. Both characters were right from their perspectives, but here's the interesting part. The dreamer, in its infinite wisdom, is playing both of them, experiencing both perspectives. Prometheus believes in the good he's doing, but the consequence is suffering. Zeus believes he is right, enforcing divine law, but his punishment creates suffering as well. Both sides are necessary for the dreamer to experience the full range of existence.
And this is where Carl Jung's idea of the shadow comes in. Jung said that every person has a shadow side, the parts of themselves that they repress or even deny. These parts can be dark or difficult, like anger or jealousy, but they are also necessary to our wholeness. In the same way, the bad or evil roles we see in mythology, like Zeus punishing Prometheus, aren't inherently evil. They're just different aspects of the dreamer's total experience.
hmm So when we talk about good and evil, it is not that one is truly better than the other. It is that they are complementary. Prometheus, for example, represents light, altruism, and the desire to empower others. But that light can cause harm if it is misunderstood or taken too far. Zeus, on the other hand, represents law, order, and the darker side of control. But without that shadow, the universe would lack structure. These opposing roles balance each other out, giving the dreamer a complete experience.
Right, and in fact, the dreamer can only truly experience itself when it fully inhabits both the light and the dark. Without the darkness, the light loses meaning. Prometheus' act of giving fire could only be significant because it came with a great cost, his eternal punishment. And for Zeus to enforce his laws, he had to experience the consequence of his rigid control.
Cool, because this is where we get into the concept of archetypes. In mythology, gods like Prometheus and Zeus are not just characters, they are universal symbols of the extremes that the dreamer plays out. Each god embodies certain qualities that we as humans also experience. Prometheus is the archetype of sacrifice and compassion, while Zeus represents power, authority, and retribution. But the truth is that they're just different manifestations of the same dreamer. Yes, you are right, Fernanda. The dreamer is both Prometheus and Zeus, both the hero and the villain. And just like the dreamer experiences both sides of the story, we too experience the full range of these archetypes within us. We can embody the light of Prometheus one moment and the shadow of Zeus right the next. It is the infinite spectrum of existence. Ha! Perfect! That's where perspective truly shapes everything. If we look at Prometheus from Zeus' point of view, he's just a traitor. And if we look at Zeus from Prometheus' point of view, he's a tyrant. But what if both of them are right in their own way? I mean, what if the dreamer is experiencing both perspectives at the same time?
And that, Fernanda and fellow dreamers, it's exactly the beauty of the infinite. The dreamer isn't limited by these roles, it experiences them all. It is through these extremes that the dreamer feels the depth of its existence. Prometheus and Zeus, light and dark, good and evil, they're not opposites, they are part of the whole. And we, as players in this great game, get to experience both.
Hmm, Brahman, it is almost like we are constantly breaking the infinite. Every time we step into a new role or a new perspective, we break the boundaries of what we thought was possible. And yet the infinite just keeps expanding, allowing us to experience even more. This is the ultimate paradox, isn't it? Oh, the ultimate paradox indeed. But maybe that's the game we're all playing, to experience everything, to break through those boundaries, and to realize that we are the dreamer and the dreamt. We are all part of the same great mind, the oversoul. Oversoul, cool. I like that expression, Brahman, because through it all, we get to keep questioning, keep expanding, keep experiencing. That's what makes it all so beautiful. This infinite journey of discovery, of self discovery.
Yes, Fernanda, the oversoul discovering itself constantly, infinitely. That is so powerful and so beautiful. We just reinforce the idea that everything is created by us and from us. Nothing is actually external. Everything we feel, everything we speak, everything we manifest comes straight from this oversoul. And that's so empowering.
Empowering and frightening at the same time, Brahman. Again, we get to feel like these complementary emotions, and that's so nice to think that we are manifesting a part of this great whole. That's so cool. You know what else? It is very empowering to wear a shirt where you get to put your feelings out so that people know what's going through you or in the alchemic phase that you're in. So if you access the Atman Self Spread Shop at spreadshirt.com, you may choose from a variety of different designs, different drawings that I made it myself, and they all have like this profound meaning for me, and I hope that they really connect with your oversoul as well. Thank you so much for listening. I hope to see you all in the next episode. And this is being such a beautiful journey that I get to share with you. So, a beautiful pleasure. Thank you so much, dreamers. See you next time. Bye bye.
See you next time, dreamers. Remember, the dream is yours to dream.